What's going on, guys? I'm Mighty back at the end with the weekly skins videos, and we have backpacks in the game. So that is the first time we've ever had skinnable backpacks. Pretty big skin limited item store this week, so let's get into it. But the top sellers are the No Mercy backpack and the Blackout Burlap pants and shirt, which I'm sure isn't too much of a surprise. So we get started with the Berserker Boots going for $1.55. And yes, I just want to quickly point out, I'm aware that I'm using my headset mic and not my actual mic. I just updated NVIDIA, and for some reason the settings are not working, and I can't change my microphone, so it's really annoying. Anyway, Berserker Boots, $1.55. This is a continuation. This whole store is a complete the sets week. So it's going to be a continuation of every set that we have in the store. So the Berserker Boots are going for $1.55, 99 USD. 99 cents USD, and a lot of the Berserker stuff is hit and miss. So a lot of the clothing is above center store price from what they came out on, and then all of the weapons are below center store price. But of course, we're not really looking at the weapons this week. We're looking at the boots. So I think the boots are actually going to be a pretty safe investment simply because they're only $1.55. However, I don't think there's really going to be that much demand for the Berserker boots once they leave the Rust Item store and go to the community market. Personally, I don't really think there's too much demand for the Berserker gear, but it actually does look pretty good in game when it's all paired together. It is also quite hard to pair the Berserker stuff with anything else though. So if you're not just running the Berserker collection as a whole, then I do think it is pretty, as I said, hard to pair the Berserker boots or Berserker anything with anything else. So just keep that in mind, but I do think that will slightly reduce the demand for them on the community market, but they're only $1.55 standard store price for boots. So overall, I actually do think they will be a pretty safe investment. There's also only 8 cheaper boots on the market, and of course, some of those boots are going to be like the tan boots and other face punch, just random common drops. So just keep that in mind as well. Boots are actually a pretty safe investment, and even though I don't think these are going to perform crazy, I actually don't think you'll lose money off of them. So I don't think they're going to be too bad to be investing in. Right, moving over to the Blackout Burlap pants and the Blackout Burlap shirt, both going for $1.55 each, which is actually definitely a surprise to me. I'm surprised that these aren't going for like $5 each, because as we know, unless you're new here, Blackout is a very, very popular set and also a very successful set that has made MDE and Face Punch a lot of money. So literally everything except for the Blackout Bolty is above center store price. So Blackout is just the easiest collection to be investing in. I think this burlap gear is going to be so oversaturated, it's going to be just absolutely crazy. But the thing is, most people use burlap at the start of white, so it does mean that even like the players that aren't as good are going to be buying the burlap gear, because of course they're going to be prim locked for a lot longer. So I do think that this is definitely going to be a pretty safe investment. Honestly, I think it's very, very, very likely that it's going to get oversaturated to the max on the community market, but I think there is going to be enough sales, especially come Christmas time, for the price of this to still remain above the Rust Item store's $1.55 starting price point for each item. And so overall, I will recommend investing in them. I do think they're definitely going to be heavily invested in by other investors in the Rust community, but I do still think that even if they're only selling for a little bit, you're still going to be making money off of them. So I do think the Black Burlap shirt and pants are both going to be good investments, and I'm really surprised that they're only $1.55. Alright, moving over to, I suppose we'll go with the bags, because I feel like bags are kind of just clothing. So we'll look at the Hardsuit backpack going for $3.05. Of course, this is a continuation of the Hardsuit set, and I actually do think the Hardsuit set does look quite good, all put together, and the Hardsuit backpack also looks quite cool. So going for $3.05, I'm assuming that will be probably around center store price for the backpacks, I would imagine. But I think it looks cool. But I do think the backpacks, you just have to keep in mind, the backpacks are going to be a lot harder to get on vanilla servers than what they are on modded servers. and you can't craft the backpacks, at least that I'm aware of. So I do think the backpack skins are going to be more like L96 skins, M249 skins, LR skins, um, all of the non-craftable item skins, where they're not going to have as much demand simply because not every player is going to be able to get them. You can't craft them, so they're not going to be as readily available, and so less people are going to want to have a skin for that item. So you just have to keep that in mind as well. So overall, I also do quickly just want to point out, because we just have had these backpack skins released. Look, we've already had two this week. We've got the hard suit one, and we have the No Mercy backpack skin as well, which we'll talk about in a second. But just expect a lot of backpack skins to come out over the next couple of months, simply because once we get a new item that's skinnable, they just keep coming to the Rust store. They just keep coming. So the hard suit backpack, it does look cool, but if you're going to be comparing it to other backpacks in the future, I don't think it's going to look as cool as some of the other ones. So overall, I'm not going to recommend investing in the hard suit backpack. You could try and pick it up with a buy order off of the community market, and that is what I'd recommend to do, because we don't exactly know how the backpacks are going to perform on the community market at the moment, because we haven't had any release. However, because they aren't a craftable item, I just want to keep in mind they are going to be a slightly riskier investment, in my opinion, because they're not going to have as much demand from the community, especially just the average Rust player. So I'll recommend getting the hardsuit backpack off of the community market with a buy order. However, I will not recommend buying it off of the Rust store for the $3.05. Moving over to the No Mercy backpack, going for $4.60. Of course, the No Mercy set is an OG, highly profitable skin collection back in the day. We don't actually have that much No Mercy stuff coming out at all these days, because we have so much No Mercy stuff already. Like, we've got a No Mercy bloody skin for almost every item, it seems. But I'd say about 70% of the No Mercy stuff is above center store price, and the other 30% is below center store price. I do think that you'll be able to get the No Mercy backpack for a little bit cheaper off of the community market with a buy order as well. And also, you do have to keep in mind the No Mercy backpack is $4.60, so it's already above center store price for backpacks that we're aware of. I would imagine that this would be above the average price, simply because it is, of course, above the hardsuit backpack's price. So you do have to keep that in mind. However, I do think that this is the more popular collection of the two that have released this week for backpack skins, hard suit versus No Mercy. I do think the No Mercy backpack will definitely have more demand, especially once it goes to the community market. Another thing I want to quickly point out is, if you're running a white armor, as in like whiteout, or No Mercy, of course, if you're going to be running a backpack, then there's a chance that you're going to be farming sulfur or farming nodes in the snow, and this is also a semi-pay-to-win backpack skin, because it is white, at least much lighter and wider than the default backpack skin, and so I do think that this is slightly more advantageous and pay to win, because you could be using this in the snow and just blending in that little bit extra compared to running a default skin backpack or the hard suit skin backpack. So overall, I do think there is definitely benefits to buying the No Mercy backpack, and I do think that there is actually potential for the No Mercy backpack to increase in value. However, because it isn't a craftable item, I still would recommend trying to get it off of the community market with a buy order, but we don't know how these are going to perform. We don't know how many more of these are going to be continuing to be released in the next Rust stores for the next coming weeks or months, so you do have to keep that in mind as well. So there is also that little gamble where you could be buying the No Mercy backpack off of the Rust store. However, of course, this video is already a day late, and so you might be watching it even later. I would recommend, if you aren't going to buy it off of the Rust store, make sure you check the community market immediately and see if the No Mercy backpack is on the community market, and if it is on the community market, try and place a buy order and get it for cheaper than the $4.60 that it's going for on the Rust store, because I do think that there is definitely potential in the No Mercy backpack making you money. But we will have to wait and see for what continues and what other backpack skins come out. Because, of course, if a whiteout backpack skin comes out, I actually do think that is going to perform better than the No Mercy backpack, simply because there is less black on it, and you're going to be able to camouflage in the snow a lot better. So just a few things to think about with the No Mercy backpack. But overall, I do think that you should be trying to invest in it off of the community market with a buy order, and that'll maximize your potential profits for sure. All right, moving over to the weapons and tools. We have the Cargo Heli Hatchet and the Cargo Heli Pickaxe, both going for $3.05 each. Metal tools. These days, I don't think metal tools are really worth investing in, even if they do have the little slightly pay-to-win cutouts, which these do have. I think it is just extraordinarily like it's super super specific whether this is actually going to be pay to win, just because if you like can't see someone through like just the blade of your tool, I don't think it's really going to be that advantageous to have. So like 1 in a million chance it's actually going to be pay to win. So $3.55 is what each item is going for, so about center store price for tools. Overall, I'm not going to recommend investing in either the Cargo Heli Hatchet or Pickaxe, because there's just so many metal tool skins out on the community market already. But not only that, there's better tools in the game. We've got the Jackie, and we've got the salvaged pickaxe, or the chainsaw, salvaged axe, or the chainsaw, I should say. So overall, not going to recommend investing in either the Cargo Heli Hatchet or the Cargo Heli Pickaxe off of the Rustodom store. But I do think they are kind of cool looking skins. All right, moving over to the Thunder Gold SAP. I actually think this is quite a smart design for the SAP skin, because it reminds me of the diamond camos in Black Ops. And of course, we do have Black Ops 6 out now, which a lot of Rust players are likely playing Black Ops 6 as well. So I do think the Thunder Gold SAP could have a little bit of demand, but the Thunder Gold set in general, it just isn't really that popular in terms of weapons. We've got like a 50-50 on whether you're going to make money or not. The Thunder Gold SMG, as in custom, is down 16%, double barrel is down 23%, SAR is up 67%, and the AK is up 9%. So I do think that the SAP is going to sit somewhere in between the SAR and the AK. So I do think it'll be slightly profitable, but I don't really think it's going to be worth it. It's probably only going to go up around like 15% or something like that. So overall, I'm not really going to recommend investing in the Thunder Gold SAP. If you want to invest in it, then go for it, but I don't really see much happening with the Thunder Gold collection, to be honest. So overall, not going to recommend investing in it. It's also going for $3.85, so it's above center store price for even weapons and tools. All right, moving over to the Toy Thompson, going for $3.05. Throwback to the toy collection, but some of the toy collection is quite decent performing, and then some of it is not very good. So we basically have a 50-50 on the toy collection as well, where half of the toy collection is up in value from the Rustodom store and the other half is down in value from the Rustodom store. So overall, I do think it's going to be a riskier investment, and I'm not really going to recommend investing in it. I do think the Toy Tommy will go up slightly, but I don't think it's going to go up even worth really investing in. But if you do buy it as a play skin, I don't think you're going to be losing money off of it. So just do with that information what you will, but I don't think the Toy Tommy is really going to perform very well once it leaves the Rustodom store and goes to the community market. All right, moving over to the deployables, we have the Glacial Visage sleeping bag going for $3.85. This is above center store price, but center store price for glowing deployables. And this is indeed a glowing sleeping bag skin and a continuation of the Glacial Visage collection. I actually think this collection is sick, but it isn't performing well. There's only one item that is above center store price from the Glacial Visage collection, and that is the large box, up only by 18%. So overall, I'm not going to recommend investing in the sleeping bag. I do think you could get it for cheaper off of the community market with a buy order. And so if you want to try and buy it as a play skin, I do think if you buy it as a play skin off of the community market with a buy order, you'll get it for cheaper than the Rustodom store's value. So that is what I'll recommend to do if you want to buy that. Alright, moving over to the Pixel Armored Double Door, going for $3.85, and this is actually the cheapest Double Door skin we have on the community market. So, as I said, going for $3.85. It's also a continuation of the Pixel Armored, the Pixel Collection. Debbie Dan has had a lot of the Pixel Collection accepted in-game. However, the set itself has not performed very well. In fact, almost all of it is actually down underneath the store price of what it was accepted at. There is only 4 skins of the however many there are in the collection, 25, not including or including the Pixel Armor Double Door, that are actually above center store price. So the set itself hasn't performed very well. I just want to quickly get that out of the way. However, there's 0 cheaper armor double doors on the community market, and there's only 9 armor double doors on the community market. So some of them are free on the Rust Twitch drops, and if you do have them, in my opinion, they actually are better simply because they are glowing deployables, whereas the Pixel Armored Double Door isn't a glowing deployable. So it is pretty likely that if you have that, you'll likely be using that over the Pixel Armored Double Door, and a lot of people will have it. However, there are 0 cheaper armor double doors on the community market, so just keep that in mind. I don't think the Pixel Armor Double Door is going to perform that well, but as a play skin, I don't really think you're going to be losing money off of it. And I also don't think there's going to be many of them sold on the Rusted store, which means I don't think there's going to be many of them on the community market either. But I also don't think there's going to be much buy order activity happening for the Pixel Armor Double Door on the community market either. So I do think you could buy this off of the Rusted store and still have the chance of making money. But I also do think there isn't going to be much, we'll say, fighting over the buy orders for the Pixel Armor Double Door either. So if you do get your buy order in early for the Pixel Armored Double Doors, as early as you can, then I do think you can definitely make money off of the Pixel Armored Double Doors off of the Rusted store, off of the community market. I do want to quickly say though, I don't think there's going to be much demand for the Pixel Armor Double Doors, so if you do buy them, then you might be waiting a little while to actually be able to resell them. So just keep that in mind if you are trying to flip skins really quickly. But I do think there is definitely potential for making money off of the Pixel Armor Double Doors, off of the community market, and even potentially off of the Rusted store. However, I do think that you are less likely to be making money off of the Pixel Armor Double Door off of the Rusted store in comparison to the community market, simply because they're going for $3.85 on the Rusted store, even though they're not glowing deployables, which I think is pretty silly. So just keep that in mind as well. Alright, moving over to the final skin of the week, we have the Tempered Armored Door. Another Armored Door skin for the week, but this one is only 1, not 2. Going for $4.60. It's a continuation of the Tempered collection, and I actually think this Armored Door skin looks pretty wicked, as all of the Tempered stuff does. However, the Rust community isn't super keen on the Tempered collection, it seems, because a lot of the Tempered stuff is actually below the Rusted store's price, and only 2 of the deployables are actually above the value of what they were on the Rusted store, which was the Tempered Sheet Metal Door, only up 5%, and the Tempered Garage Door up 76%, which is a decent bit better. However, the Tempered Armored Door does look pretty much exactly the same as the Tempered Sheet Metal Door, besides the fact that it has its armored window. So we do have to keep that in mind. That does pretty much show you that the Tempered Armored Door is likely to perform cheaper on the community market than what it's selling for on the Rusted store, and so for that reason, I'm not going to recommend investing in the Tempered Armor Double Door off of the Rusted store. But this is going to be another one of those skins where I do think that if you buy it off of the community market early with a buy order, then I do think you can be making money off of it. I also do think there will be a little bit of demand with this skin because it does look awesome, but I don't think that it is something you can buy off the Rusted store and actually make money off of. So for that reason, I'm not going to recommend investing in the Tempered Armored Door off of the Rusted store for this week. That is going to do it for this week, guys. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Pretty interesting looking collection, and hopefully by next week I can have my microphone settings fixed, and hopefully Nvidia stops dogging the boys with that one. But reminder of what the top sellers is looking like. We have the No Mercy backpack in at number 1, followed by the Blackout gear, and then at number 4th spot we have the Hardsuit backpack. So not an overly surprising top sellers list, but I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and remember, have a skits one.